I bet that you, during the coronavirus quarantine right now, are spending way too much time watching Netflix, playing games on your phone, wasting time. Well, this video will give you an exercise that you can do to help overcome this. But first, let me explain. So you, watching this right now, you're what, at most 120 years old? Probably in your 20s or 30s? But the parts that make you, your organs, and the structure of your brain is much, much older. There is a human nature within you. Although you are a free and conscious person, free to make decisions for yourself, there are still patterns inside of you that make certain ways of living more effective than others. You could say that you have an affinity for certain paths in life more than others. For example, a legitimate possible way of living your life of putting your hand on hot stovetops all the time isn't congruent with your human nature. So as Jordan Peterson argues in his biblical series, there are better ways to live your life, but is there a best way? Well, the fact of the matter is that one of those patterns is that of the adventurer, the hero myth. Human beings, you and I, all have an instinct for adventure. There's a calling inside of us to go out and explore, and this hits right at the bottom of our human nature. So this goes way back to our primitive ancestors leaving the African continent to explore the entire world, and it manifests today whenever you go outside your comfort zone. So you see, the hero myth is entrenched inside your psyche. So what is this hero myth? The hero myth is about an adventurer, a hero who goes out from his village, his community, his center, to go and face the ultimate enemy, the dragon. So the dragon is kind of like an archetypal mashup of all the primitive threats that humans faced. It's a combination of a bird of prey that could snatch up a child, a snake that would slither through the grass and bite and poison a human being. It has a fanged mouth like all the predators that ate us over the millions of years that we were a prey animal. And it can also breathe fire. Jordan Peterson discusses this in the biblical series. So the hero goes out, they go to the cave, the scary place where the dragon is. So the dragon is guarding something of value, whether it's a treasure, a pile of gold and gems, or a princess, a virgin, sitting in a tower. So the hero will face the dragon, slay the dragon, and acquire the thing of value, and then bring that thing of value back home, back to the village, back to the community to share with others. You could also think of that, and some of the hero myths are the hero kills a dragon and takes its scales and uses it as a shield, or takes a piece of the dragon, a piece of the thing, a piece of the challenge that you've overcome, and incorporates it into himself to make him stronger or more defensive or more capable in the future. You can read more about the hero myth in Joseph Campbell's book, A Hero with 1,000 Faces. So the first thing to understand is that these stories are better interpreted symbolically. They're not to be interpreted literally. So as symbols, the hero can be replaced with anyone who's facing a dragon. And the dragon can be replaced with any challenge, any problem, any issue that you're facing, whether it's external or whether it's internal. So the hero can be replaced with anyone, including you. And the dragon can be replaced with any challenge, any problem that you might be facing that is guarding something of value. And when you face this challenge, when you dive head first, when you go out to face it, confront it voluntarily, instead of it coming to you, and you defeat it, then you acquire that thing of value. You get the treasure, you get the virgin, you save the princess, you get the gold. And what you do is you incorporate that into yourself or into your home or into your community. You bring it back. So important to the hero story is that it's better to go out and face your problems voluntarily than to wait and let them catch up to you. The hero myth isn't that the hero waits for the dragon to come to the village, to come to his home, to then defend. The hero goes on the offense. So the dragon could be something external, like a job interview. Or it could be something internal, like an insecurity about your sense of belonging, or something in your past that you don't really want to face. Remember, the dragon is just a representation of fear itself, that which is the most dangerous. So Jordan Peterson and also Joseph Campbell actually say, that which you seek is where you don't want to look. And of course, no one wants to look at their dragon. The whole point is that there's something to be gained. And you know it. There's something that you've been put off that you want to do, and there's some value, there's some benefit to it, but you haven't gone out to face it voluntarily. You haven't gone out to slay that dragon. So what can we take from this? In the end, we want to ask, how can this story serve us? You can tap into this archetypal story for whatever you don't want to do right now, whatever is holding you back, whatever is keeping you from accomplishing your dreams. You might say, well, this is an old primitive story. What does it have to do with us now? Unfortunately, we're stuck with a monkey brain, and you can't do much about it. You have to live with it. Besides, although it's part of our primitive brain, it is by no means primitive. Let me read you a quote from The Power of Now by Joseph Campbell. You are more than you think you are. There are dimensions of your being and a potential for realization and consciousness that are not included in your conception of self. Your life is much deeper and broader than you conceive it to be. What you are living is but a fractional inkling of what is really within you, what gives you life, breadth, and depth. But you can live in terms of that depth. So think about it. The hero myth is within you. It's also within everyone, and everyone going back millions of years. Just think of how much death, how much pain, how much suffering, how many dragons won before human beings gained the mental ability to write it down so that it could be harnessed by you. The hero story was handed down to you on a platter stained with blood. So this is the big takeaway of the video. Pay attention, it's right here. You can live in terms of your depth. Tap into your archetypal pattern. They're yours. The hero story is about you. It's passed down in the form of books and movies for you to tap into. See, it's not so much that when you watch, say, The Avengers or a hero movie, that it gives you energy. It's that it's pulling that energy out of you. It's already within you. See, these stories are a calling. It's a call to action. It's a call to adventure. It's to pull you out into the world. So the question is, what's your adventure? You have to make one. So you, just as a human being, you have the right to feel connected to these stories. But there's a flip side to that. As the hero, you have a responsibility to go out and face your dragon. So I hope you feel that this responsibility is empowering. Jordan Peterson talks about a counterculture that he's identified as being one about responsibility. So use this story to your advantage. Tap into that energy within you and make your life an adventure. And the problem is, you probably don't know what your story is. If you don't know what your story is, it could be a tragedy. So make your story an adventure. Are you hearing me? So if you're feeling unmotivated right now, I'm going to give you an exercise that will help you reframe what you're doing as the hero's adventure. If you make your goals into an adventure, you can know that you're tapping into energy from a much deeper place than you thought you could before. So what about you right now during the great quarantine of 2020? Well, you don't have to go out into the world and take all the dragons of the world onto your shoulders. So I said that the hero leaves their home, but that also means your centered, grounded, normal place, your normal mindset, your normal way of being. If you're changing your routine, if you're developing yourself in some way, even doing an online course at the same desk, you're still going out and you might be facing a dragon by doing so. Maybe your first dragon is just cleaning your room. So when Jordan Peterson calls you to clean your room, he doesn't just mean spatially, as in to take out the trash and to organize your stuff. He also means to organize your room temporally. That means to be waking up at a good and consistent time and to have a schedule for your day. It means having a routine. So now I have an exercise for you. What I want you to do is go down to the description and click the link to download the exercise that will help you reframe your challenges as the hero's myth with you as the hero. My name's Luke. Thank you for watching. Please hit like, please hit subscribe if you like this content, and please let me know what you think in the comments below. It's part of our primitive brain So as symbols, the hero can be replaced with So as symbols,